right, here we go. Welcome to episode number 8 of the Business of. And this week we have 2 awesome guests. First time I'm doing 2 guests, so thank you to Streamlabs for helping me get 2 guests on here. The Business of, in this series, we look at the business side of a topic. This topic is not really business related, but it's something that's very interesting. And there's a reason I'm having these 2 guests on, and we will talk about that as we go on. But I want to introduce, if I can get the right camera, Simon and Helen. Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi, how you doing?
Oh, okay, how's the sound? Let me just double check here.
We're still talking? Does that help?
All right, good. Making sure the sound is good. All right, awesome. All right, welcome to the show. How are you guys today? How is England?
England's been quite nice today. It's sunny.
Yeah, it's not been too bad. Yeah.
Fairly warm.
All right, so just a quick shout out to my friend David Wilson. He is the one that thought he may be related to you, some long lost cousin. He knows somebody with the same last name as you. So, you know,
Actually,
do you know the Wilsons from England?
That's my maiden name.
Well, it was Simon's last name that he recognized.
But Wilson is my maiden name.
Oh, look at that. Well, who knew that? So, and now where are you guys from?
Southeast London.
Yeah, right now we're talking to you from Bromley, which is, southeast London.
Oh, okay. And David's in the chat. I don't know if you can see the chat or not, but he will tell us where he is because he's in a shire somewhere. I think I don't even know what I'm a dumb Canadian. I don't even know what that is. So, all right, why don't you guys start?
You don't know what a dumb Canadian is.
No, I don't know what a shire is. Everything's a shire over there. I have no idea. And our friend Paul, he lives somewhere else too. So, over in England, I know nothing. But anyways, why don't you tell us who you are? Tell us about you and tell us a little bit about you guys.
Well, we're Simon and Helen. We're a couple who've been married for 5 years now. We are naturists.
And that's why you're here.
That's absolutely why we're here.
Yeah.
The universal naturist symbol on my t-shirt.
Nice.
We're on YouTube. Yes.
Ordinarily, we wouldn't have put anything on.
Oh, yes.
Hey, whatever. It's YouTube.
Unless it's cold, of course, we'll get dressed when it's cold.
Yeah, England in the winter is not a great place for naturism, but outside at least. But yes.
My friend David says he's from County Durham.
Oh, way up north.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Exactly. Okay, so sorry, you said you've been married for 5 years?
We've been married for 5 years.
How long you been together?
7.
Okay.
Yeah,
but we've known each other since we were 13.
Oh,
yeah.
Cool.
So we were actually at secondary school together. After secondary school, we went our separate ways, had our first marriages, and
I make it clear we weren't together at school.
Okay.
No. He was in the computer room. I didn't know there was one.
Yes.
Excellent. And just off topic, I follow the Computer Museum on Twitter. One day I'd love to get over there and check that place out. There was something similar not too far from where I live. It was really just in the guy's basement or garage, but then he passed away and his wife got rid of everything. So, I know.
Yeah.
So once he passed away, it moved on. So, but that's actually fun fact. That's how actually I found you, because I follow them because it's computer, it's museum, it's retro, it's all that kind of stuff. And then I stumbled across you guys, and I stumbled across your channel. And that's when I reached out and said, see if we can do this. And fun fact, they're going to be on Retro Rewind. So we're not going to talk retro at all today. They're going to be on Retro Rewind on SPG's channel at 3 o'clock on Sunday. So stay tuned and you find all about their retro history. But okay, so you are both naturists.
Yes.
So what is that? Aren't you just a bunch of nudists? Like, come on.
There's a terminology difference between the States and Europe.
Yes.
You seem to use the word nudist over there. We don't so much over here. We use the word naturist. To me, nudism is a bit more sexual connotations. Naturism is really, to put it in a nutshell, it's non-sexual nudity. Mm-hmm. It's getting past the idea that nudity has anything or is related in any way to sex.
Mm-hmm.
And it's we just live our lives how we want to live our lives, with or without clothes, really, at the end of the day.
I think naturism means different things to different people as well. And for me, it was by discovering naturism was a route to body freedom and acceptance and freedom of trying to sort of conform to what society thinks you need to look like. And once you get rid of all that, you're much happier and you start to accept you are what you are.
Yes. I mean, society has this idea, particularly sort of in the UK and in the US, that the only time you ever appear naked in front of someone else is when you're going to have sex with them. So therefore, society has formed this idea that nudity and sex are linked. And as naturists, we've basically just seen past that and seen that when you look at a naked human form, they're just naked. They're just a person.
It's just a body.
It's just a body, and it's a type of a
Everybody is naked under their clothes.
And
everybody gets naked to have a shower or bath or whatever.
I actually get more anxious when I have to get dressed to go somewhere, because what do I wear?
Yeah.
It gives me anxiety. I think, I'm going to look crap in that. I'm going to look rubbish in that.
Yeah.
I'm stripped back and I'm just my true self.
My son liked going to a Catholic school when he was in high school because he just wore the same thing every day. It was, he had the shirt, the pants, he had the little uniform that they had to wear. He loved it. He didn't have to worry about what he had to wear. He didn't have to plan, what shirt am I going to wear, any of that. So I guess it would be sort of the same.
Years after school, all I wore were black t-shirts and black jeans, just period. And then
what's he wear? What are you wearing now?
Yeah.
It's got a bit of yellow on the shirt. So, but yeah, no, that now. When did you become Naturist? Is that when you guys got together, or were you? Did you grow up?
I mean, for myself, I have never really felt that I liked clothing. I would come home from school and I would take my clothes off and sit in my bedroom, and I would worry that my mum would see me and things like that. Although, to be fair, in the house that I grew up in, although my parents weren't naturists, nudity wasn't terribly taboo. You could be naked upstairs in the house, just as long as you didn't come downstairs without any clothes on and things like that. But I kind of repressed all that side when I got married the first time around. My first wife was quite Christian, and it just wasn't acceptable. So when that marriage started to break down, naturism helped me find a place for me. It was kind of my space that my ex-wife accepted that it was something that I did. She didn't want to know about it. I would go off to venues or whatever, and she was okay enough with that. And when we finally separated, I kind of launched full time into, right, this is me. I'm not wearing clothes again unless I have to. And then I met Helen.
How did you guys reconnect?
Facebook.
Oh.
Well, obviously we were at school together, and
that's what you said earlier. But then you went your separate ways. At some point, you had to find each other again.
Yeah. So in 2008, obviously everyone was reconnecting sort of with their old school friends, and even that we knew of each other, and the entire year was just reconnecting, really. So so we were friends on Facebook, and we'd had sort of on and off conversations over the years, hadn't we?
You stalked me, you mean?
No, you stalked me. And then a friend.
Isn't that the point of Facebook? Is to stalk old people? Like, isn't that the point?
Our friends, a mutual friend, decided to organise a school reunion, basically, in lieu of the sort of everyone turning 40. And I said to Helen, "Did she want to go?" And she tried every trick in the book to try and get out of it, but I was living not too far away from her at the time, so I said, "I'll take it."
Aww.
Yeah, I was on my own at that point. I was living in a caravan in a field in Oxfordshire. So yeah, between marriages, I lived in a caravan.
Okay.
I was working as a contractor for. I'm a computer programmer, basically.
Nice. Me too.
Yeah, I was just working contracts, and I figured if I've got no other ties, I'll tow a caravan around the country and follow the work.
Cool.
And that's what I was doing at the time. But so, yeah, I offered to take her to the reunion, and she sort of said, well, if we're going to spend that long in the van together, perhaps we ought to meet up and see if we get on. But we were...
We have different versions of this story.
You pick it up from there then, dear.
And now I'm still waiting for him to go home.
Yeah, I turned up and I haven't got home since.
Yeah. But we ended up going to this reunion as a couple, which was quite funny. All of our school friends were like, "You two." Mm-hmm. So yeah, that was that.
Okay, so Miss Helen, how did you get in? Was it again the whole family thing, or was it when you found him, or?
Oh no, I mean, my story is quite new in as much as I was vehemently against Simon's naturism.
When we first got together, I told her I was a naturist. She had no idea what that was.
Well, I did, but it just wasn't for me. I thought it was weird. I didn't understand it. Couldn't get my head around it. And so it went on like that. So, he'd have to cover up if I was around. Robust conversations happened often. And the turnaround for me was during the first lockdown that we had. And it was really hot. And I'd had lots of body issues, like body dysmorphia. But I had lost a little bit of weight during the first lockdown.
Which was March 2020 in the UK.
And
pretty much the same place around the world. pretty much.
Well, we were locked down at the same time.
Anyway, so I decided I would get a bikini for the first time in 20 years. I was in the garden. It was hot. I put a bikini on. And Simon, being a bit of a budding photographer, thought it'd be fun to do a photo shoot. So we did, and I wasn't repulsed by what I saw. And eventually...
I had a point to prove at this point. I wanted to show her that she looked good.
Okay.
Eventually, Simon got us involved in a normalizing nudity project.
Okay.
Where I was to go along as a model to a naturist resort and have the naked people draw me. So I did. And at first I was a little bit like, God, this is weird. But once I'd got over seeing the other people, and again, it was really hot, I felt a bit silly being the only one in a dress. So I took it off and nothing happened. It was quite unremarkable.
The world didn't collapse. The world didn't fall off its axis. Wait. Did you start this in February and then March is when the world collapsed? So was that were you the cause? You took off the dress and then the world collapsed with COVID? Is that
really my fault?
Is that?
But yeah, so that was the moment, the sort of eureka moment, if you like, where nothing happened. People carried on talking to me, eye contact, drinking the tea. And I just thought, this is really nice. People are just chatting and not looking at anything or judging, what I'm wearing or whether my bum looks big in this or anything.
They were probably judging you more when you had clothes on.
Yeah, totally. And I still feel that way.
Yeah.
Because we do that if someone's wearing something oh, why is he wearing that? Why is he wearing that shirt with those pants?
Yeah, that's what I was going back to before. The whole anxiety about having to get dressed for an event.
Right.
It's what do I wear so that people don't judge, whether how much money I might have or what I do for a living or, like I said, whether my tits look big or my bum looks big or whatever. When I'm naked and in that social environment, it's all gone. It's a leveler. We're all the same.
Yeah, everyone talks to everyone else. The bin man is sat next to the billionaire and no one would notice.
You just wouldn't know. And that's what I love about it.
My friend Paul Bayram is in the chat. He's my other UK friend. I have two. And they're both here in the chat. So
two more now.
I got four now. There we go. I got four now. Excellent.
They're multiplying.
I doubled today. I don't. Paul will have to put in the chat where he's from because I just don't remember. I'm not a good friend. I don't remember. But my other friend Ricardo is in the chat. I know he's from Toronto. I know he's a Canadian like me. But I don't know those shires and that. Adam Francis, evening. Jeff, Simon, and it's Helen, but. Okay, don't know who Anna is, but it's Helen. But is he one of your friends, or is Adam Francis one of your friends? No.
Yes. Yes.
Who's that then?
Adam Francis, Facebook.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, excellent. Welcome, Anna. Welcome, Adam. Welcome. Okay, so, all right. So, yeah, nothing happened, and that was it. And that started your road down. So, talk about normalizing, talk about the whole normalization project then. Let's talk about that.
Okay.
Because in before you guys agreed, I researched you a little bit, checked out some tweets. So I've seen a lot of the tweets, I've seen a lot of the stuff, and that's what then prompted me to reach out to you guys about both Retro Rewind and doing this show. So why don't you talk and a little bit about the BN? Because I don't know if we have anything like that in Canada. I know we have a few resorts. I know Stefan from Bear Oaks. He's up huge over here. And that. So why don't you talk a little bit about that?
I can talk about the BN stuff. So British Naturism is, I'm the Women in Naturism campaign coordinator and have been doing that for a year. So I've gone, in 2 years, I've gone from hating it to shouting about it to everyone who'll listen to me.
That's amazing. I didn't realize you're a newbie to this whole,
this year's nuts. Because last year we couldn't do very much because of restrictions and things.
Of course.
This year everything's open, so we've been to festivals, we've been naked dining. I've even
walking.
Naked hikes. Have we done a swim? Well, any day's a swim day.
Yeah.
Anything we can do that we would ordinarily do clothed, we will try and get an event going on somewhere, or go to an event, or
find a way to do it naked. Yeah.
So, but my role at BN, I think because I was new into it, BN appreciated my sort of story, my journey, my enthusiasm.
Yeah.
And the reason for me wanting to do the role is to try and encourage other women to experience what I've experienced.
Capture that new, fresh enthusiasm.
Yeah, and gone is the fear of what I look. I don't give a shit what I look like anymore. I really don't. It's my safe place. I'm happy when I'm naked. And I want other people to think, you know what, I have got scars, I have got wobbles, my bum might be big, but it's all right, it's good.
Yeah, it's about body acceptance as opposed to body love. You just got to accept what you've got. And I do think there's a natural tendency towards that as you get older anyway.
Well, for some.
Yeah.
Not for all. But when you experience that sort of thing that I did that day, and I was just, I need to tell people about this. Because he had been trying to tell me for years that I would like it. And I'd be like, no, shut up. It's never going to happen. Not happening.
You can talk to your blue in the face. You
can't
tell
someone.
I
mean, all I can do is tell people what I've experienced and what it meant for me.
Right.
And if women want to be free of all that pressure of looking good, we do look good anyway. And naturism is sort of the validation, if you like, if that's what you're looking for. It's where any body is normal and it's absolutely fine.
Yeah. Everyone is unique in their uniformity and individuality at the same time.
So I noticed the other day you did a Twitter Spaces about family.
Yeah.
And I believe you have kids?
We do. We have 3 daughters between us.
Okay. Yeah.
So 2 from Simon's marriage and 1 from my first marriage.
All right.
And they are 21, 19, and 15.
Okay. So how does that work with kids? Because I think most people would say, well, you can't bring kids. Now your kids are teenage or a little older, but they did not start that way. They were always younger at some point. I know how kids work. I have 2.
That viewpoint is just so wrong, because you can't get a safer environment for kids, particularly a socially naturist venue, where everyone's naked, everyone's looking out for the kids effectively, because it's like a big community and everyone wants everyone else to feel safe. It's you can't go to a naturist place anywhere without talking to someone. You can't go there and be alone. People don't to their cliques, but what if they're brand new? What if I just, I'm brand new to the, and I show up to England and somebody would just come over and welcome me in and just drag me bring it into their clique and start talking? So I wouldn't know I may not know any, okay, I know you guys, but other than that, right? Yeah, no, I mean, if you turned up, sat down at a table, bought a coffee, someone would come over and chat to you and say, hi, how you doing? Yeah. you can't get a safer environment for children, and the kids that have been raised by naturist families, they're the most rounded, positive kids that you will meet, is they have none of the social pressures that social media, etc., is applying to them, they,
Well, I mean, a good example is the differences between Simon's daughters and mine.
Yeah, that's true.
So Simon's, the older two, are quite happy to get naked, come to events with us, get naked. The younger one, not so much, and she doesn't mind us at home naked, and she knows what I do. She knows that I'm all over the internet, talking about nudity.
You were on TV. Did I not see a tweet? Didn't you do TV?
We've done a few bits of TV and a few bits of radio and a few bits of magazines.
Well, I got a face for radio, so I'm good with radio. Sorry, that's
we were live on one of the prime time.
That's an old joke. Yeah, but weren't you on like a morning show and you guys just wandered out and didn't you shock them? I'm going by your tweets. I'm just going by your tweets. So
that was the radio.
The radio one was where we wandered out. Yeah.
Oh, so, that was radio. Okay.
Yeah. The TV mid-morning one, we were very carefully positioned beforehand to make sure the gallery couldn't see anything. I was sitting there with cross-legged for about 15 minutes, couldn't feel the blood in my foot. So we've done a few bits, and it's
been a busy year. It's been a busy year in terms of media as well.
Oh, that's good.
Indeed, our middle daughter was in the background of that. She was
the TV one.
Of the TV one. She was sat up on the back bench. Yeah.
Oh, she's the pale one, the one without a tan.
Shouldn't she be the most tanned if?
They don't live with us.
My kids grew up with me naked around the house, and what kids grow up with as normal is just normal to them, and they don't question it. So they have no problem with nudity, full stop. And what I've actually found, sort of through talking to them, and they really relaying what their generation that they feel, is that nudity is take it or leave it. They won't be naked for the sake of being naked, but
they just don't like labels.
They don't like labels.
They don't want to be called a naturist or a nudist or anything. They just want to be, and if they want to be naked, they will be naked.
So but they don't have a problem sort of turning up to a festival that is a naked festival. If that's what everyone else is doing, they'll be naked. But they won't go out of their way just to be naked.
My friend Paul, but I think Adam answers this. He wondered what TV show it was, and he thought it was This Morning.
Correct.
Correct. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, This Morning.
That's one of them.
That was one. Yeah, that's a primetime show.
It's like a magazine show.
Yeah, sort of middle of the day, ITV. Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. All right, we obviously don't get that here. Okay, so in one of my questions I sent out, what about? And again, you read about it, and I think your Twitter bio alludes to it a little bit. People who just come to look and gawk and voyeurism, those types of things. Because especially if you're on social media, like you've got to get, the trolls. I'm gonna call them trolls. Other than
social media and real life are quite different.
Yeah.
So I spend probably an hour or more of each day going through my Twitter account and getting rid of
just blocking.
Wow.
Blocking anything porn related.
Anything. It's all sexual. The amount of dick pics I get. Silly messages.
I mean, this all comes back to the equation between sort of nudity and sex, and the fact that like I say, people associate nudity with sex because the only time you are naked in front of someone else is because you've got sex with them, and then all they're fantasizing about having sex with someone, so they're looking for pictures of people to fantasize about.
Yeah.
So they're the voyeurs. They're the ones who are conflating the two, sex and nudity, and that's the link we're trying to break.
Yeah.
And back to my point though of difference between life on social media and real life is that so far, and touch wood, I have not encountered any real life voyeurism.
Okay.
So when I've been to a naked event, they're usually very well run.
Yeah.
You need to prove who you are.
Yep.
As well.
Yep.
And any sort of suspicious behaviour is monitored and dealt with very, very quickly.
Yeah.
And like I said before, it goes back to anywhere like that is my safe place.
Right.
And I don't feel latched on. I don't feel perved on, or any of the voyeuristic activities that people assume. I don't get that. I don't feel it.
All I get in my DMs is crypto scams. That's all I get. People wanting me to buy NFTs and which I have to do on another show because I don't understand why I can't just print out a JPEG and stick it on my wall. Why do I have to buy it? So I need to do a show on NFTs because I clearly do not understand that. But that's all I get in my DMs are people trying to hawk their NFTs.
I still see the Nigerian one. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. The Nigerian prince, he's long gone. It's now all just NFT. It's just NFT, NFT nonsense and stuff like that, right? Yeah. I don't understand it either. So I'm going to have to do a series of those shows. I'm going to actually do a guy. He's going to talk to me about Web3. We're going to start with Web3, and then we're going to Simon. You know what obviously at Web3 is. So we're going to start talking about that, and then. And,
Helen.
Exactly. Just seeing if Paul's just making fun of me in my chat. So just ignore Paul.
So I can't see the chat. We're fine.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Excellent. We go back and rewatch it and rewatch it later. So I saw a tweet from Helen. I think it was Simon. You retweeted it. Is there something you want to talk about in terms of October and women's health? So I'm good. What I'm going to do, I'm going to try is I'm going to see if I can bring you full screen. That clearly did not work. All right, forget that then. All right, yeah, something you want to talk about women's health and October?
Yeah, so it's Breast Cancer Awareness Week month, and being a naturist, or without using a label, being comfortable naked and spending a lot of time naked, I'm very aware of what's going on everywhere in my body. Mm-hmm. And was it months ago?
Yeah, a few months ago.
I discovered a lump on my breast. Mm-hmm. I may not have done that had I been fully clothed all the time. It's just an awareness. And I was thinking, hang on, this feels a little bit different. And we got it dealt with straight away, didn't we? And yeah, it was all good. It was fine. There was definitely a lump there. There's nothing sinister.
Okay, good.
But I'm just so aware of any changes that are going on.
Sure.
And, I know my body. I'm learning my body. I listen to when it's not happy.
Yeah.
When things are wrong with it. And I think that's the important thing to take away from a
Absolutely.
lot of
this is one of the same goes for guys, really. You do become very much aware of what is going on with your skin, with your body as a naturist. Because, if you're naked, you can't help it, really.
Right.
And it just feeds into the healthy living, really, doesn't it?
Exactly. So that, you've got your mental health benefits and you've got your physical health benefits.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Win-win. And we don't do very much washing. Win-win.
That's a plus. I have two teenage. One 19 and one is 21. I have a lot of laundry that I have to do. So
the deal is she does her own now because
we've charged the 15-year-old. We're doing our own washing, so
there's so much of it.
Yeah.
Oh, you got girls. Yeah, I have boys. So I think, Simon, we're just lazier creatures, if I can stereotype.
Absolutely.
Maybe naturists are lazy.
Yeah. I can't even get them out of their room. I can't even get them out of bed. I can't get them to do anything. So I understand what you're saying. So here's a little fun factoid about me, which nobody knows. And I'm going to tell everybody this story. Last winter, so I lived just outside of Toronto. I lived closer to Toronto back then than I do now because I moved to be closer to my parents, but that's besides the point. There is a group called the GTA, Greater Toronto Area Skinny Dippers, and they do multiple events. You may or may not have heard of them. You may have run across them in some of your tweets and stuff, but they did a swimming event, and I went.
Okay.
And it was just me and everybody else, and I didn't know anybody, but several people. We started chatting and this, that, and the other, and the world didn't come to an end.
No, absolutely. This is it.
And have you done it again since?
There wasn't. There have been events that I just couldn't go to just because of scheduling. They usually don't schedule them that far in advance, and I usually already have plans. There was a bowling event I wanted to go to, but again, I moved closer. I also moved farther away, so it's a bit of a schlep to get there. But they did a bowling event that I was interested in, but I had plans on that day. And they've had a couple recently, but again, just bad timing. I just couldn't go. So,
I mean, yeah, that is something BN is actually pretty good at, is, the organisation of events and, the spacing them out throughout the year. The biggest one they do is Nude Fest, which is a whole week in July. Yeah. And that's run
big old festival with
nice.
750 naked people.
Nice.
Yeah.
I hope it's sponsored by the sunscreen company. Coppertone. That's the word I was looking for. I hope you reach out to Coppertone for sponsorship.
Yeah, or Saint-Tropez or whatever.
That
his
I just know.
Yes, it's.
And where is that?
It's at Thorny Lakes, which is normally it's just a large farm stroke fishing fields in Somerset.
Like Woodstock?
I don't know. I mean,
it's very mini.
Yeah,
mini Woodstock.
No, but I mean, it was just in a guy's farm, wasn't it? Wasn't Woodstock just in some dude's farm? Like,
I mean, they do have a small campsite there, but I mean, this
usually textile.
Usually,
clothing people.
Yeah, but this expands sort of like into other fields around the site, and then they have dedicated a couple of fields.
Do you still have the trailer or caravan, as you called it?
Not anymore. No, I had to put that into storage, and then it got eaten by mice, so I sold it for scrap. I was quite sad about. I also had a camper van. I had a converted Volkswagen transporter, and I couldn't bring it inside the London low emission zone, so I had to sell that as well.
Oh,
yeah. So now it's a very big tent. I mean, we don't do camping by halves. I mean, we glamp, don't we? We have Wi-Fi, TV, fridge. Yeah.
We took our retro gaming with us as well.
We did.
Oh, did you? Oh, did you?
We took a Street Fighter 2 Mega Drive with us. Yeah.
All right, we'll have to talk about that on Sunday. About what did you bring and what consoles do you play on and that sort of thing. So how big is it? So it's a big tent, obviously. If you've got.
Well, it's a 8-berth tunnel tent. So yeah.
For the two of us.
Just the two of us. Yeah.
Well, if you got your fridge and your stove and everything else, that sounds.
Yeah. Didn't use the stove though, did we?
We didn't. No. Well, that's the thing. It was a festival. All the food stalls. It was great. Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. So what about the rest of Europe? Your Germanys and other areas. What is the attitude around? Like, how does it change? Like, I know what it's like in North America, as Canada, U.S. We're sort of the same, and just in conversations I've had leading up to these two sessions, right?
Yeah.
And
Europe seems to be far more advanced with regards to nudity than the UK.
I would say the UK is somewhere between the US and Europe as a general attitude.
I think the UK is slowly waking up to it and starting to realise that being naked isn't weird. It's not how it used to be portrayed in the media with old people, old men, perverts, weirdness.
Yeah.
It's not like that, and that's why we're going on so much about it and trying to say, look.
And trying to bring it to mainstream media attention.
We are not weird. Well, we are a bit, but
we're not. No.
We're just normal people.
You're weird in your own sort of way, your own lovable sort of way. Everybody's weird. Everybody's weird.
What is weird? It's just whatever isn't the accepted normal.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's comments people made to me leading up. They're like, are they going to be naked on the show? Like, are they going to be? No, Simon isn't going to be dancing around naked. Like, he's just going to be sitting in a chair talking to it, just like every other guest. It's not.
Yeah.
That's what when I explained and I showed them the logo, and that's they're like, isn't that weird? No, not to them. Why is it weird? Because they think you're weird because you wear clothes.
Yeah. I mean, in Europe, certainly. I mean, our friends Fiona and Mike, they call themselves Naked Travels.
.net.
You're wearing the T-shirt.
But you know what? I think I've seen some tweets. Again, I came to you from the museum, and then I've kind of branched out that rabbit hole of Twitter. So.
quite a rabbit hole. But yeah, they were on Helen's Twitter space last night, and Fiona was telling the tale of how are they in Spain?
They're in Spain at the moment.
Yeah, in Spain.
Oh wow!
And how they were just on a beach. They were naked. They have a sort of black Labrador, and a textile family walked past them, and the young girl ran up and was playing with the dog, and she didn't bat an eyelid at the fact that they were naked. She couldn't care less. All she wanted to do was greet the dog, and the family were like all smiles and waves and just kept moving on down the beach. And that's very much the attitude out there, and it's slowly getting that way, I would say. I mean, we are fortunate, and we have quite a few designated naturist beaches now, and the law is now on our side in this country.
It's not here. One of our MPs wanted to change some of the laws and stuff. I don't think it's going to pass. So we can't do that here. There is a couple of places around Toronto and Vancouver, and a couple of places that are pseudo designated. But I know even at the event I went to, they had put up a big black cloth at sort of the entrance. Once you sort of checked in, you did your membership, you did all of that stuff, then you went past this black cloth into the change rooms and whatnot, because you still had to put your clothes somewhere, right?
Yeah.
Sorry?
That's
making it weird.
That's making it weird. And that segregation is saying, right, you can't see what's going on in here because these are the special, the weird people. It's actually underlining it and making the problem worse, I think.
Yeah, but I don't know if they had to because of the public, the swimming, the public, the place we were at, the swimming pool. It's a city-owned community center, so I don't know if that was their rule. I don't know if it's. I'm not. Stefan would be a better person to answer some of those questions. He would know, and he gets a lot of press around here. I see a lot of articles pop up with him on there, and I know they're doing lots of cool stuff out there. And again, he's very far away from where I live.
To be fair, you do have sort of an element of that here, particularly where swims are organised in public pools. The pool gets jumpy about their reputation, and puts various rules in place. And I mean, the rule that gets us most is when they say, no, it must be over 18s only. The kids would love to come for a swim. Why can't we bring our kids along, But no, they don't want any negative press.
There needs to be more positive things for families of naturists to do. We shouldn't be sort of telling our kids, right, now you're 8 years old, you've got to get dressed.
Yeah.
You've got to hide your body now.
I mean,
why?
Yeah. The kids are natural naturists. They don't know any, they're innocent. They don't know anything of sex and sexuality. To them, they put clothes on because they're told to, and they just accept that they're told to put clothes on. And then it just kind of, it's formed in them from a very young age that you have to wear clothes. Don't understand why, just accept it because mummy and daddy tell me to. And that is the foundation, really, of
body shaming.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, even just magazines, they're all touched up. They're all the models are all touched up to make them look skinnier and whatever. Filter.
Yeah, there's no point aspiring after what a model looks like in a photograph, because even the model doesn't look like what she looks like in the photograph.
No, exactly. There's some dude in there with his mouse, and he's like, making it what society or what they think is gonna, sell that bottle of whatever, that bottle of beer or that perfume, or is Helen gonna buy that perfume because it's a really good looking dude, or is she gonna be less likely because it's an old fat dude on it? Who knows?
And here you've touched on another thing. There is I guess a bit of an inertia to normalize nudity and normalize normal bodies because sex sells. Because there's money in keeping nudity sexual. And part of what we have to show is that there is value in body freedom, in
the buff pound.
The buff pound, as it's been referred to in the British press, yes.
Say that again. Explain that.
Buff pound. Naturists will spend money in order to go and do something that other people ordinarily would do clothed. For example, there's been a resurgence in naked dining. So we'll go and hire out an entire pub, and a whole bunch of naked people will just turn up.
And it's not even just naturists,
No, it's people that just want to experience dining naked.
I like to eat. I'm a fat guy. I like to eat. I like to drink. Look, I got a beer right here. Look, with an arm shot, I have a beer right here. It's not 5 o'clock yet here, so I can't start drinking because it's not 5 o'clock.
And it's like I do 5Ks, and where we are, there's just down the road from us.
Where I work, darling.
Where you work, darling. Yes, the Naturist Foundation in Kent. Just to plug it there. They do.
Oh, that's where you work?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, okay.
It's a new thing. I've been there for about a month, but I'm one of their receptionists.
Yeah, it is.
Nice.
The office there, yeah.
And I had my interview naked.
Yeah.
Well, I would expect nothing less.
But they do a 5K there twice a year.
Oh.
And they get obviously naturists just doing it for the fun of doing a run, but they also get the serious runners coming in who are doing it for the challenge of doing a 5K naked. Mm-hmm. So they're very well populated events, and it's about kind of branching out, sort of bringing in the running clubs.
Interesting. The one group that I mentioned, I believe they did something, but they were in like the Toronto Pride Parade when most of the people are naked, but that's because of pride and other reasons. But I think they had a booth, and I think they were in the parade and that sort of thing. So it doesn't happen like that. Stuff doesn't happen as far as I know, and over here. Right. Okay. I think the laws have a lot to do with it, because it's not, I just couldn't walk down the street like you could, because the laws are not on our side over here.
I don't do that. Yeah. I don't do the weekly shop like
in the news. No, this is where it differs. Although the law itself is in line and says that being naked is a state of being, and you can't be held illegal for something that you are, only for something you do or intend to do.
Yeah.
Then technically you could walk down the street naked, but there's also the public order offences that says that you mustn't cause harm
or distress.
Shock, harassment, or distress, or something like that. The wording is, and so it can be argued that if you just wandered down the street, then you were intending to shock people.
We'll go on organised walks, and if we do meet passers-by, then we know that we're not doing anything wrong.
Yeah, we have little cards to hand out to sort of explain the law for anyone who's a bit like, indecent exposure. No, there's no such thing as indecent exposure anymore.
But so far, we've just met positivity, haven't we? Yeah. Like, we've not had anyone be abusive or rude.
Even I could see older people, the different generation, like, no?
Not really.
Oh, interesting.
I mean, to be fair, most people one-on-one have absolutely no problem with other people being naked, even if they don't feel it's for them themselves. They only start getting antsy about it when en masse, because they think society thinks they should do that. Mm-hmm. So it's only
it's like the pack mentality.
It is, yeah. And so if we can sort of change the social narrative, then that would fit a lot better with how most people feel anyway.
Your long-lost relative, David Wilson, wants to know where you carry the cards.
In my backpack.
Along with the
lunch. Someone has to carry
He's related to you guys. I take no claim. I think he's related to you two somehow, so.
I mean, naturism is not about stalwartly being completely naked the entire time. No, clothing serves a function.
Well, I'm sure you're wearing running shoes, because I couldn't imagine doing a 5K in bare feet.
We're wearing
I don't do the running.
No.
I wouldn't do the running clothed naked. Doesn't matter. I wouldn't do a 5K. Period. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, I wear running shoes and trainer socks for 5K. I wear walking boots for the brambles and the hikes. And you have to wear sort of decent socks with them. Clothing serves a function. If you get the things that suffer the most are your hands. A pair of gloves.
I've done some hiking and some stuff, and I see people, especially women, who are they're on a date or something, and the dudes drag them, and it's like, why are you wearing that? Like, that is not what you should be wearing. You're just gonna slide down the hill, and I don't want to be so I see people wearing things they should not wear, on their feet when they go to do certain events.
Yeah, absolutely. So
clothing is a practicality, really.
Exactly. I mean, like when you're cooking, you put an apron on, don't you?
Yes.
So there's functionality, there's protection from cold, environment, whatever.
Job, whatever your job might require you to wear.
Well, you
wouldn't go into a fire without a firing.
Uniform, yeah.
Uniform, that's the one.
Yeah.
We're not anti-clothing. Let's put it that way. We just are free from the notion that you have to routinely put something on regardless of what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And we're free from body shame.
Yeah.
More importantly.
People can't touch us really with that anymore because we've accepted our bodies the way they are. So
that's really the whole point, right? That's what everyone needs to do. Whether it doesn't matter if you're 8 years old, I forget how old you said your kids were, but whatever, or if you're teenagers or 30, it's probably harder for the younger kids because they see it all in the media and they see it on social media, they see it in the print, they see it everywhere, right?
And that's why we're all over social media, really, is to and print, or any media we can get in, really, is to try and show normal bodies. To try and show that not people, it's okay to look entirely different and still be normal.
Mm-hmm.
There's no one size fits all.
No, as a larger man, I know that when I go in to get a shirt, I like to think that I'm a medium, but I'm really not. And I'm like, I'll take that in a medium. And they're like, really? Really? Try the extra large, buddy. It's like, I like to think that I'm a different size than I really am, So I was impressed when I was trying on some old pants because I just moved, so I'm cleaning out some stuff. And I'm like, wow, these 40s don't fit me anymore. But I'm going to hang on to them because I might grow back into them. So.
Yeah, might get back into them one day, yeah.
I may get back into them. So it's hard to let go of those. But I think that's the key message, right? Is just normalizing it to...
normalizing it to the point of seeing, you see that everyone is both the same when they're naked and all entirely different.
Mm-hmm.
And what you see...
And it's all okay.
Yeah, and it's all okay. And what you see is just a human. You don't see bits. You just see the whole person.
I would much rather, whether you are clothed or not, I want to know more about this whole retro thing that you do, and I'd rather just game with you, retro game with you. I don't care if you're what you're wearing or not. I just want to, I just want a retro. I want to pull out my GameCube, which is right here.
I mean, there's a meme that's been circulating on the internet for a while that says that if you online game, you already know a naturist. You just don't know you know a naturist.
Everyone in my chat now knows a little, stark secret about me that they probably didn't know 10 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, any gamer who's into online gaming will have got up out of bed or come out of the shower and straight back on something, just in their bedroom, not
shower. Shower.
I think you do once a month. Just be.
What gamer do you know that shower? None of the gamers I know. They're all just keep gaming, and they're lucky. David Wilson, he's north England, right? But he's often gaming with us. I do stuff at 8:00 Eastern. That's whatever, time it is over there. And he's up all night. It's like, okay, guys, it's 5 a.m. I probably should go to sleep. He's been gaming with us all night. Now, he's also 22 and he can stay up, right?
Yeah, you went to his 42. You won't do that anymore.
No. My friend Ray is in California and he streams and it's like 1 a.m. my time. Number of times I either missed a stream or I fell asleep in the middle. He's actually fallen asleep on, actually performing. And a number of times we're playing something. They're like, "Where's Jeff? Is Jeff gone? Oh, it looks like Jeff's logged out." Jeff's just fallen asleep at 2 a.m. I just couldn't do it. So middle of the game, we were playing, whatever, and the game just kicks me out because I've just been idle for. Oh, Jeff's not here anymore. Yep, Jeff's fallen asleep. Well, it's 2 a.m. and I'm just like done. I'm old and I just can't do that. So
no,
right?
A certain thing I found is that older I get, midnight I'm off to bed now.
It's easier to put the controller down as you get older because you're like, all right, you know what? I need my sleep. I got to get up in the morning.
I like retro games because they were so much.
Slow.
They're so much easier to put down. You know, you didn't have to play for 4 hours to be able to complete a mission and get to a checkpoint.
But we did though back in the day, didn't we?
You did, but you know, the checkpoints were more frequent, or or you could just save the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I just got a memory card for my GameCube. I had to go buy one because when I got it at a garage sale and it didn't have one, so I had to go get one because I got tired of restarting the same level. I was playing Lego Star Wars. I got tired of restarting the whole thing, so I had to go and get a save card. But now with online open world stuff, you can go on forever. You know, you can just Red Dead Redemption 2. You can just play online. You can go like there's no save point. You just keep going until you fall asleep or exhausted, right?
Yeah.
So,
absolutely.
All right, we're coming close to our hour. Any other last comments that you want to make about anything? Nothing retro related, because we're going to talk about that on Sunday.
Yeah. I mean, all I can say really is, about naturism. Yes, no one can really persuade you to try it, but do anyway. Even
if it's at home.
Yeah.
Just take a bit longer to get dressed after the shower.
No, yeah. Or stand and look at yourself in the mirror. Well, this is a classic technique, is to body acceptance rather than naturism.
Mm-hmm.
Is stand naked in front of a mirror and just look at yourself and try and think of the parts that you actually like about your body, or just to look at yourself in the eye in the mirror and just stay there and get an appreciation for who you are,
mm-hmm.
and try and see yourself objectively.
Mm-hmm.
And from a female's point of view, if you have got wobbles or scars or stretch marks,
who doesn't?
That you've given life.
Yeah.
You have.
The mothers out there, yeah. Yeah,
I've got stretch marks, I've got wobbles, I've got scars, I've got all of them. And, my body's my vessel that keeps me going, and my scars are a reminder that I've survived stuff.
Be thankful for your body as it is right now, because it's got you this far into life.
I don't know how God created our bodies, because the things that our bodies do is just, how he sat down and sketched us all out. The things, I'm always amazed at what our bodies can and cannot do.
Well, like Oscar Wilde said, if God wanted us to be naked, we'd be born that way.
Exactly. I'm now a little grossed out because David Wilson said we have no idea how little clothes he wears when he's gaming with us, and so now I'm kind of grossed out.
Grossed out, naughty.
But this is the point, the people that go, I don't want to see it, put it away. Well, I'm not here to look attractive to you. I'm not here for you at all.
You failed that because you look really attractive. You guys are a cute couple, so you failed that. My friend Ricardo says he's a big fan of being naked at home. It's just him and his wife, and there you go. So there you go. And Adam says, thank you for having this chat. I really enjoyed it. Naturism is amazing. Naturism, can't talk today.
Yeah, I thought you said Naturist.
It's now 5:00. I can now start drinking.
Hey.
There you go. All right. I want to thank you both for coming on. And I look forward to, just so you know, we're going to send you, so we use Melon on Sunday. I don't know if you've ever used Melon. It's a web-based, kind of like this. It's a web-based, I'll send you a link, about a half an hour before. Same sort of thing. You can jump on. We just kind of chit-chat a little bit, kind of like we did before. And then at 3:00 Eastern, which is, what's that, 8:00 your time? 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 8:00 your time. Then we go live. It's a couple hours. It's just an informal chat. It's just going to be all retro gaming. Just want to know about, how did you start in retro gaming? And what is the big question we asked in the first question, just so you can prep, is what does retro mean to you?
Okay, then.
Yeah, that's kind of, and then there, there may be, like Mortal Kombat, the 30th anniversary is coming up this weekend. Holy crap, it's this weekend is the 30th anniversary, so we'll talk a lot about Mortal Kombat. Okay. And if you have collectibles, if you have, things you want to show off, I don't know what you have in terms of games and consoles and collectibles.
Your gig, love. I'll dip in and out.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, again, we want to come for the beginning, and if you need to dip away because we get into the nerd stuff, that's cool too. But I want to know about your background. We want to know about your background. I want to know your background in this, and then we want to know about your background in retro gaming. So, But I want to thank Adam and Ricardo and David and Paul for dropping in the chat. I will throw this up on Spotify. I will spread the word. Thank you guys both. I really appreciate you both coming here. I've got 2 new friends in the UK now, which is great. I've doubled my UK friends. Actually, I have a third one, Adam. But anyways, yes, thank you guys for coming. Thanks everybody for watching and listening, and I will see you guys next time. See ya. Okay.